You think that he is one of your favorite leopards here, little Hosana. So again, we've got a sighting that is for leopard lovers as well as bird lovers. Now, Hosana was positioned nicely at the base so we could do bird and tree in the same shot, but unfortunately he's moved. So I'm just going to reverse a little bit, and then you'll be able to get his face just a little bit better. How's that, Ferg? A little bit back? Okay, there we go. Now you can see his face nicely, and we'll still be able to see the parents of the hornbills land where we are now sitting. Managed to spot behind some of the branches what was left of the kill, but on a different branch up there. Was up higher in the tree before, and it's really just skin and bones. He's eaten most of it, unfortunately. At the base of the tree, we have the entrails that he took out. And it's not really the entrails, it's not everything, but it's a ruminant sac. Now, this being a small impala, it's a small ruminant sac that's in there. And sometimes they'll eat the outside layer there, and sometimes they just leave it. It looks he took it out and then hoisted that small impala up into the tree. Now, earlier when Ferg and I were here, they were picking around, those hornbills were picking around. But now I'm thinking they were actually picking around what was left of the ruminant contents down there, because they will eat things. Reddish tinge. That's some blood from when Hosana was pulling the kill up in the tree. So it's a little bit of a bloody start to our safari today, but we have something that is done with it, and so life goes on and the wheel turns. It's quite interesting behavior all around. Now, again, as I was saying, it's very warm today, so he's busy in the shade panting. We have another vehicle that's with us from the neighboring lawn. Chitwa Dam is not far from us, and Chitwa Lodge itself. And so they're just positioning over to the side in case you're wondering what that noise is. You can see his beautiful yellow tinged eyes there. Because this is a little tiny impala, I do think that he's probably not going to do much with the skin and bones that is left. And it is possible if any impala pass by here on their way to the day, you might try and hunt again. You never know. It just depends on how warm it is and how he feels himself. He might wait a day or two, or he might decide he gets a chance this evening. We'll have to wait and see. I don't know about all of you, but watching nesting hornbills is one of my favorite birds to watch. That impala kill will last Hosana, so it's pretty much finished, as we were chatting about very briefly earlier. And I impala, it's like an amuse-bouche, a little aperitif. It's nothing. It's not a huge meal. If it was a full-grown impala, several days it would last him. But this is pretty much done. He might go up and sniff around and sort of poke around maybe some of the rib area, or possibly get at some of the sinew that's on there. Oh, our hornbills are back. But yeah, he's pretty much finished. Listen, listen, listen. They're cranky little things, hey? So we can't really see the babies. Every now and then when the parents come, you can see like part of a beak that pokes out, because they're not fully able to get out yet because the hole is closed up slightly. There's just a little slit that's in there. It's to protect them. So for any of you that maybe don't know about the nesting habits of southern yellow-billed hornbills, the male and female in general mate for life, and they find holes in trees like this one here, and then the female will go in and her will cover up the hole so that she's also kind of stuck and protected in there, and leave a little slit, and he goes around and he have grown back, and she breaks through, and then her and the male cover up the hole again, leaving a little slit, and then feed the chicks through there. Richard, that's a really interesting question. Richard, you're asking if one of the babies fell out, could Hosana eat it? So Richard, yeah, if that barricade that's there were to break, and let's say the fledglings aren't ready to fly yet, and they sort of fell out, it wouldn't surprise me that he would eat one. We were chatting a little bit this morning about a leopard that I saw in the Kalahari Transfrontier Park that was climbing camel thorn trees and going through sociable weaver's nests, like this to get out. There's nest at the top of this tree. He might try. I've seen leopards doing that as well, climbing to the tippy tops of large trees and eating. Keep the questions coming, everybody. We love them. Oh, he just burped. I don't know if you guys could hear that. He's very full. His little impala has made his belly distended. Not as distended as if it would have been a large impala, but it is quite distended. And as we chat about from time to time, belly and the heat, he's slightly uncomfortable. I check. Now I'm also interested that he's in the shade in the base of the tree rather than up in the shade of the marula itself, because there's a nice breeze, but to each their own. All right, well, we're sitting here with the lovely little Hosana. Let's head over to Scott and see what he's up to. So Hosana has found a little bit of a better shady spot, and he's a move hornbills anymore, but we can see the hoof of the impala sort of dangling there in the air, what's left of the impala. Sorry, I was looking at my monitor, and all I could see were those tendrils of leaves, and I was like, Ferg, what are you looking at? And then I moved around so that my gear shift wasn't in the way, and then there was the impala hoof. So here's little Hosana lying beautifully in a better piece of shade. The sun's starting to slowly go down, so he keeps having to move a little bit, move a little bit, move a little bit into. But in general, he's a pretty. Proud Cat Mama, you would like to know if anyone saw Hosana make this kill. Proud Cat Mama, I'm actually not sure. I only got the update sort of late into drive this morning. We have different channels that we work of, and I was working the northern end of our traverse, which doesn't pick up the channel that we're on now. So when I got down to the southern end of our traverse, I picked it up. So the guys didn't say whether or not they saw him kill it. They just said that he was there. But it would be an interesting thing to know. I have a feeling that they might have just found him as opposed to seen it, but you never know. We're very close to Chitwa, and so I think one of the first things the guys would have done would have been to have a look-see for him. If when I see another one of the guides from here, I can always ask, and then I will let you know for sure. Oh, that breeze coming through nice. Ooh. We've got a little bit of cloud cover that's coming through and a little bit of breeze that's coming with it, and so it's taking a bit of this heat. It's actually slightly humid. The rain that we were hoping to get yesterday and this morning, we just got a drizzle. It didn't actually drop on us. So as Scott and I have been chatting about it on and off, we really do need a big downpour of rain. I know we keep commenting on it. Oh, that's beautiful, Ferg. Thank you. But yeah, it would be nice. Postsider, you're wondering how big his head is, so you wanted me to approximate the circumference. I don't know, Ferg, what do you think, like a small rugby ball? Mini football. Yeah, okay, so a mini football, American football or European football?
Real football.
Yeah, real. Ferg says a mini football / soccer ball. That's the kind of football we're talking about. You said real football. His head, and then obviously the snout sort of attached to it a little bit. His belly, though, is probably the size of 2 footballs / soccer balls. That's how fat that is. And then his paw size in front, it's roughly the size of your palm as an adult person. Kevin, you're saying has found a spot that is extra super comfortable, and he's busy panting, and yeah, his ears are sort of midway. They're not forward as an alert and they're not back as an annoyed. They're just, he's in a very relaxed state. So I think a smile is not for sure. Have sort of a Rottweiler sized dog or like a small Boerboel, because that's about his size. Almost a full-grown Boerboel, depending on if your Boerboel's mixed with anything. I'm trying to think of another dog species that would be similar size. Most of my friends either have really small dogs or really, really large dogs. So maybe a big lab, we can put that in there. That's about the size that he would be. Alsatian, yeah, but maybe like a Belgian Shepherd as opposed to a German Shepherd. What do you think, Ferg? They're those smaller, the ones that we use for anti-poaching. Those smaller with the shorter hair. Maybe a mixture in there. Two and a half foot, roughly. Ferg, if you wouldn't, yeah, you're focusing right in where I want you to be, not just with the tail, but do you guys see that yellow that we were talking about? Not that, we really want to be looking at genitalia of all of our... Ferg goes down the coat there, how it alternates between being sort of a tawny color into a white color with the rosettes on top. Interestingly enough, we were chatting several weeks ago, I think almost a month ago, about how if you shave a tiger, the stripes go into the skin, and how if you shave a zebra, it's black underneath. And someone sent in a photo. One of our leopards got bit by a rabid dog, and I'm pretty sure it's Hosana. Viewers, will you? Oh, is it Shindile? Okay, sorry about that. It wasn't Hosana, it was Shindile. Thanks, Nix. And one of our viewers sent in a photo of him after he had been darted and had been shaved for treatment. And his skin pattern, the rosettes go into the skin, just as a thought, in case you were interested to know. He's really enjoying his little perch here. Now, amazingly, when he gets full grown, he is probably going to weigh, I would say, between 85 and 95 kilograms. He's probably going to be a larger male. But right now, he probably only weighs about 55 kilograms. Jarvie, I'm so sorry. You said, Nix, I missed that question a little bit there. I heard the last end of it. Maybe if we could repeat the question, Jarvie. I am getting your question through. Sorry, we've got a little bit of a delay between myself. Sorry, it wasn't Nix, it was Faith. We've got a delay between myself and Faith. She's up in the Mara, so she'll hear that I've requested again. Jarvie, you asked, will Hosana's rosettes change at any point in his life? That's a really interesting question. No, they're pretty much set. The only thing that you would really see change is if he maybe got into a scrap and then sort of got a scar, or possibly got some mange, and then there'd be a little change to his coat pattern there. But pretty much from birth, that's it. That's the pattern, and that's how set they are. We've got another vehicle that's coming to join us to enjoy in the cuteness that is Hosana, so just excuse the noise in the back there.
Okay, guys, yeah, so this is a young male named...
Yes, he's very, 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 very hot. All right, I don't think think he's probably going to move for the next, I would say, half an hour. So I'm going to ask you all what you think. It's not a very busy sighting at the moment. We can stay here for a while longer if you would like, but we're also not far from Chitwa Dam. So everybody, what shall we do? Shall we stay with Hosana for a while longer and then go to the dam, or shall we meander over to the dam now and then see maybe if we can come back to him later, depending on how busy the sighting gets? I'm going to let you all decide what works best for all of you. I am very happy to sit with him for a while, and I'm also very happy to carry on to the dam. While all of you are busy deciding what you would best like to do with this portion of our game drive, let's head back up to the mountain.